Hey guys, Thrasher here, and the November V-Jump scans are finally here. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so a couple things to cover before we actually talk about the characters themselves. First, we can see it is Topo and Dyspo. That's cool. Second, most people are wondering, are these going to be the Black Friday banner characters? Almost certainly not. These characters are generally in the following month. So because these are the November V-Jump characters, they will probably show up in December. It's been that case ever since these V-Jump scans, the V-Jumps themselves have been coming out. So for multiple years now. Almost guaranteed these are not the Black Friday characters. Now, can't say that with, 100% complete certainty, but almost 99.999% chance these are not coming out on Black Friday. We'll probably see them in December. Now, let's actually jump into the characters themselves. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about the stats on both of them. As is the case with V-Jump, it's in Japanese, but don't worry, if you look at the right side of the screen, I do have a translation for what the pentagrams mean. So if we look at it here, we can see that Topo has the better ki regen, so he can get you back to maximum ki a little faster, and if you have the cards and the draw speed necessary, he could probably create a slightly longer combo. With that being said, Dyspo, on the other hand, doesn't have as much ki regen, but he does have some abilities that allow him to increase his card regen. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the other thing we want to notice here is they both have really good ki blast and strike. They're probably both going to be reasonable damage dealers. But the Dyspo, oddly enough, seems considerably more tanky than the Topo, which doesn't really make sense to me. To me, Dyspo seems like a really fast character that can do a fair amount of damage, but is not tanky at all. It seems like they've gone the opposite route here. It looks like Dyspo has very good HP and very good defensive stats, where the Topo, on the other hand, does not have great HP, does not have great defensive stats, but they both can do a lot of damage. So now let's talk about their specific abilities. Okay, so we don't need to go over every little specific area of Topo, but basically what they're saying here is his ultimate is Justice Flash, as we knew it was probably going to be. They talk a little bit more about how it's a barrage of projectiles technique, which is fine. We know basically it's going to be an energy blast coming out of the tip of each one of his fingers. Cool, whatever. They say he has a special ability that increases the performance of his allies with a special pose. As I was saying, he's more of a support character, so you're going to use his green card, and it's probably going to increase maybe the damage, maybe the damage reduction of all allies. I would assume probably just damage. That's what makes the most sense. And beyond saying that he's supportive, they also say he's defensive, which seems a little weird to me because his defense stats are lower than Dyspo's, and his HP is lower, so he must have some abilities that allow him to reduce the damage that comes into him in some way. So then we can move on to Dyspo. So Dyspo's ultimate is the Justice Crash. Cool, we probably figured that. And then there's two major things that he's going on. One is, as the fight goes on, he increases his arts card draw speed, and he increases his damage. Both very powerful, and if you can find a way to increase his ki regen enough, you can probably have some pretty long combos. Now, the other thing that they mention is when he lands a blue card and he activates his main ability, it will destroy cards in your opponent's hand. Also very powerful. So he seems like he's pretty much a full-on attacker. He does have a little bit of versatility and the ability to remove cards from your opponent's hand, but he's pretty much built just to do a lot of damage, whereas the Topo is built to be a support unit that can be supposedly defensive. I don't really see them saying anything that actually says he is defensive in any way outside of just he's going to be defensive. But with his special skill actually increasing the abilities of your allies, obviously he is going to be, I would assume, a pretty powerful support unit. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, there's a couple other things to mention here. First and foremost, both of these characters are obviously from the Universe Survival arc. There has been a few other things that have made me think that maybe in the near future we're going to get Ultra Instinct Goku. I don't know that for a fact, but this is another strong possibility. Generally, when they bring these characters out, they don't come in just a tiny grouping of two characters. Hopefully we can get the Jiren with the Topo and the Dyspo in the near future. I'm hoping that Black Friday is Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren. I don't have any real reason to believe that outside of just obviously they're doing more Universe Survival stuff right now, and I think that those two characters are probably hype enough that you could drop them on Black Friday and then you could supersede them with some extra hype on Christmas, because that's the real key. Is Black Friday has to be hype enough that everyone wants to spend, but not so hype that people don't want to spend on Christmas. And I think Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren fit that mold perfectly, because there are a couple options for characters that could be even better. Gogeta Blue. I mean, come on. But we'll have to see with all that. That's just complete conjecture. It would be really cool if that were the case. I think we're probably going to get our announcement of the real Black Friday banner characters probably that morning announcement during Thanksgiving. As they mentioned before, that's their big reveal, is that they're going to talk about something on that day. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys think I missed anything, throw it down below. If there's any character that you think is probably going to come with these characters in the near future, talk about that too. And which of these two do you think is actually going to be more useful in the future? I actually think the Topo is probably going to end up being better, but we'll see. And if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.